Hey gamers, it's GoatFucker999 here, and I can't do this voice anymore. I can't do the voice. I'm sorry. Okay, real talk though. So, recently, War Thunder has released their new trailer, and obviously it brings the much awaited Eurofighter Typhoon, Dassault Rafale, and a number of other aircraft. Now, I am a War Thunder channel. It's not the only kind of content I do, but it is the majority of my content. And so I do want to commentate something on what I've seen in the trailer. Not just because everybody and their mom is currently rushing to see the trailer, and if I put that into the title, well, somebody's going to misclick eventually. But also on a more serious note, because I do think there is a bit more to talk about here, and specifically talk about the state of the game, and rather the bad state in which it finds itself. I'll watch the video first. I'll stop and interject at points, obviously, because, well, frankly, it's idiotic just to put the entire 2 minute video on for something that's likely not going to be a 5 minute long video in total. But okay, enough parlay, enough delay. Right, so Panzerhaubitze 2000 or 2000, I guess. We're already speaking in German. Uh, Advanced modern self-propelled gun. I know a lot of people have been wanting it. Frankly, I don't play top tier ground at all, so I am impartial to it. As far as I understand, though, it's just a normal 155mm howitzer, so good on them, I guess. Hopefully, if it has a radar rangefinder and thermals, it's at an appropriate BR, but that's about the only constructive thing I have to say about the funny. Oh my god, they're adding the Kuznetsov to the game. My fucking god, literally, I'm gonna bust. Okay, no, so obviously it's a showcase of the Su-30. Could arguably. Wait, let me see. I'm retarded. Give me a minute. Is it the Su-34 or the Su-30? It does seem like the Su-30. Okay, good to know. Because it doesn't have the funny canards. Or does it have the funny canards? I don't fucking know. Either way, probably long awaited for Russia, man. This realistically isn't going to be much better. No. Here is man. They're adding man to the game. This is fucking insane. And here we see the funny. So Tor system of some variety, I guess. And obviously this is all a build up to the big ol' reveal, which is first and foremost, fuck off man. There you go. The Eurofighter Typhoon. So what is the Eurofighter Typhoon, and why do I think it's probably not a good idea to add it to the game this early? Well, the Typhoon is the incredibly advanced multi-role fighter that basically a bunch of European countries, first and foremost Italy, Germany, and Great Britain, decided to make. Unlike the last time they decided to pull such a stunt, which ended in the tornado, the Eurofighter Typhoon is an extremely advanced, extremely capable fighter jet. War Thunder's top tier currently is not ready for the current sort of aircraft found within it, just because the match sizes are far too large and they're far too short. So adding yet another very capable, highly maneuverable, but also missile slinging motherfucker is not going to be good. If I had to guess, it's probably just going to have A120As or Bs. I really hope it doesn't get more advanced models because these are already fair enough as they are. But I think it goes into the problems the current top tier War Thunder has beyond just the grind and the fact that unless you buy into it, it takes literally years to get to, and that's primarily obviously the kind of high speed, fast gameplay that War Thunder top tier orients itself around, whether you're playing RB or AB, God help you if you do, is not really one in which individual aircraft particularly shine and individual pilot ship shines. It's much more important about how many players in your team are alive by the time the main furball is over and how many players are in the enemy team. You generally can't clutch a top tier match because the advanced missiles and just the sheer number of them again, defeating a Fox 3 isn't particularly difficult. Notching them is actually significantly easier than the Fox 1. The issue comes when they're being fired in multitude at you from different directions by different aircraft. At that point, it becomes very problematic. And if you've played top tier RB specifically, because that's the most often played, and I think the currently outside of Sim better game mode, when you talk about matches during this game mode, they're over within 5 minutes. Why? Well, because really it's just because of a mathematical equation of who gets more missiles off at the other dude and loses less people. The answer is the Americans because the F-15E exists and the M120 is objectively the best missile at top tier currently, at least the Fox 3 wise. So the simple truth is adding the Eurofighter Typhoon going to be good for the health of the game? Well, it's not going to be worse off, but it's also not going to be good either. It is going to make nations like Germany more competitive, and if Germany is on red team, I guess in simulator battles, or in your team in RB, they're going to be less of a dead weight than normal, but even so, it's not addressing the fundamental issues. Now, it's the first reveal trailer. Maybe they're just hiding from everyone that they're going to finally reduce match sizes in top tier matches and fix a number of other problems, like, for instance, small sizes of the maps and the general overperformance of missiles. Uh, Not in the sense that they're overperforming from their real life counterparts, but just in game, it's not really that fun to fight them because you either do the correct thing and you win, or you do the wrong thing and you immediately die, and there's no in between. And that's kind of boring because it basically becomes rock, paper, scissors. It's like somebody fires a missile at you, you defeat the missile, then you fire the missile, and if they don't, they die. It's not really interesting because it doesn't create interesting gameplay scenarios like you'd expect from, per se, dogfights, where there are constant decisions being made by both players, and the one who wins usually is obviously, if he has a better plane, it's the guy in the better plane. But a decent amount of pilot skill is required. You can cock it up royally, and even in something like an F-16 or a Gripen, get your ass handed to you by a flanker. If you went in, merged it Mach fuck, and then didn't properly maneuver, made a horrible line, and basically made yourself a target. Either way, though, adding the Typhoon currently and the Mirage and next update near certainly the F-18 isn't gonna fix the primary problems found at top tier. If anything, it might make them worse. And frankly, top tier is just not very fun in its current state, and it's probably not gonna get any more fun with these aircraft added, just because there are structural problems with the game mode. As for simulator battles, I think, yeah, finally the Germans can do something. They're not dead weight. Granted, Germany is usually on blue for, so it's probably just going to result in more heads being smashed over red team, but does lead to more interesting possibilities at least. So that's my 2 cents on the Eurofighter. I think it showcases the fact that Gaijin is far more interested in adding the cool new thing people want and satisfying them temporarily, rather than actually addressing the core problems. Now, I know, hottest take of the 21st century here, everybody knows that, but I think it is a bit sad, especially because if you scroll down, you'll find a lot of people being very happy. And it's a good trailer, don't get me wrong, but you can see a lot of people are very happy about the Eurofighter Typhoon, but that's kind of bread and circuses, I feel, in large part. And that's just, I'm not certain that's a good way for the community to be reacting to this trailer. Granted, who knows, maybe there are going to be large structural changes to the top tier environment. Maybe I'm just an idiot and am making a video far too early, but Well, the trailer is hot. I do want to strike the iron while it's hot, and so you do have to excuse me a bit if I'm a bit too willing to draw conclusions. But even so, do I think adding the Typhoon is some horrible thing that shouldn't be done? No, obviously not. Adding stealth fighters would be, because electronic warfare isn't modeled. But the Typhoon, the F-18, the Rafale, the cum shit piss bucket, whatever the fuck the Russians have currently cooked up. These are aircraft that are fundamentally unimportant because your airframe's unimportant at top tier. As long as you're maneuverable enough to evade missiles, really doesn't matter. What kind of missiles you're carrying is the only important thing. Now, I hope to God they don't add the very long range meteors to the game. I'm near certain they wouldn't, because such a long range missile, although it's extremely effective, also just wouldn't work in the small maps that War Thunder has. These are continent wide munitions effectively. Well, not continent wide, but you understand the idea. They're extremely long range munitions, and they're not interesting to play against. And if you don't have missiles at top tier that can go on par with other missiles, you're in a massive disadvantage. So, again, are they going to radically change things? Not really. Probably. And that's probably for the better because, frankly, at this point, I'm scared of whatever change they make. But also, the Typhoon, the Rafale, the Su-30, they're not going to be radically different aircraft, nor are they going to be radically better for either the players of that particular nation or the game as a whole. Just the state of the game. And I know this is turning into a rant about how disillusioned with the game I am, and in some way I am, but I do also want to stress this isn't a bad trailer. I think War Thunder's cinematics creators have been incredible, and every update trailer is excellent. The problem is, I feel like those trailers are very much not only just a way to hype the game up, but it's also a way to please an audience whilst not addressing fundamental flaws within the game. But enough of me rambling. What's more to see in the trailer? Also, here's my personal 2 cents. I don't like the Eurofighter Typhoon. Not mechanically. Mechanically, it's fine. It's an incredibly advanced fighter. I just think it looks ugly. The box intake, the split box intake, no, much like the J10. Mm-mm. Nope. No, thank you. Looks ugly. US strategic bombers could pull that look off because they were fucking massive and looked incredibly nimble and nice. This thing can't. I'm sorry, but the Rafale is just better. It's objectively just better. It's miles and leagues better, matter of fact. So it looks, obviously. I'm not talking about the gameplay performance because who knows what Gaijin decides. Maybe the Rafale is a completely unmaneuverable mess, and we just don't understand that. And Gaijin's gonna show us the way, but at least aesthetically, the Eurofighter Typhoon just saying it looks like something I'd make in Sprocket, and that's not a compliment in any sense of the word. But okay, enough of that. One thing though, I do hope that the more advanced surface to air missile systems they're adding are actually going to make a difference because currently top tier not that good either for planes or for tanks. If you're in a plane, you basically have the choice of flying out the correct plane that's not going to get shot down by AA, or flying the wrong plane and getting shot down immediately. Meanwhile, if you're playing tanks, so you can cower and hide and hope to God you don't get blown up by something you have no way of countering most of the time. So again, not particularly interesting, but hopefully, maybe this changes it. I don't know. I don't know enough about the Tor system as it is. The Tor, no, the Tor is the. Is the Tor the yeah, the toss is the thermobaric one. Never mind, I'm being schizophrenic as usual. Yeah, no, I don't know enough about the Tor system to be able to make a definitive statement. So, again, glided, yes, glided munitions. Probably some kind of guided munition, or maybe it's just a dumb bomb and I'm looking too much into it. I don't know. But you can see very much space for a fuckload of hard points. And that's pretty much the norm for all aircraft. So if I had to guess, these are AIM 120s. These are absolutely AIM 120s, and it's just this thing's gonna carry a few of them. I can tell you that much. AIM 9Ms and AIM 120s are gonna be a nasty combination. This thing could carry a few, so it's definitely gonna be competitive. Some tanks, I think those are just normal Chinese tanks, if I recall. Yeah, those are just normal in-game Chinese tanks from what I can see. Some flankers, or some Su-30s actually, I don't know what they're called, what their code name is. This thing's interesting. That thing in particular, what the fuck is that thing? This one. Looks very funny, I think it's gonna be a very funny vehicle, but I don't know. Battleships, I don't care. Okay, yep. Here's the goat. Here's the absolute best plane in God's green earth, and I love it. And if you disagree with me, you should kill yourself right now. Okay, I don't know how it's gonna perform in game. The Rafale is so fucking pretty. Rest assured, from this point onwards, intelligent talk about the trailer ends, and me gushing over the Rafale begins. God fucking damn, is it pretty? Holy shit, is it pretty. Look at it. Look at it. It's like the correct version of the Eurofighter Typhoon, without that cancerous fucking growth underneath the fuselage. Look at it. It's so fucking pretty, man. From what I can see, this seems to be the Rafale C, Chasseur, so not the Marine variant, so not a twin-seater, a single-seater. At least that's what it looks like to me because of the canopy. Yeah, okay, so it is probably a single-seater. Good. Again, very pretty. Very nice looking. I don't know what the HMD does. I guess this is showing... What is it showing? Is it showing the ability for uh, HMDs to lock multiple targets at the same time now? I guess that would technically make sense. If I recall... Rafale radar. So, excuse it being Serbian, but... Ah, yes, so it is an electronically scanned array. Okay, so that does make sense. That does make a decent lot of sense. Because these kinds of radars, solid-state radars, do have the possibility, or rather capability, of locking multiple targets at the same time. Is that gonna make top tier any better? No, it just means more missiles are gonna be flung. Does that mean it's gonna ruin the game? Probably no, either. Again, I'm kind of doom-pilled, but it's an interesting fact to note, and I am interested in seeing how they're gonna implement this mess. Look at it. It's so fucking pretty, my god. It looks like a Decepticon. Like Decepticon plague dot Decepticon Decepticon plane dot JPEG is just the Rafale is so pretty. I'm not gonna stop gushing over it. You can do whatever you want. I'm not gonna talk about the ordnance. Clearly it has some guided munitions and a targeting pod if I had to guess Atlas 2. And drop tanks, which is good. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna gush over the how pretty this fucking thing is. Look at it. Look at it. It's so fucking pretty, man. That's just a battery of Panzerhaubitze. No news there. Okay, so let's see. Firstly, dear fucking god, number of missiles. Secondarily, I do not know enough about Russian missiles to say what these are. Uh, but definitely quite a few of them. That's good. These are Su-34s as far as I can tell. Or no, these aren't. These are not. These are Su somethings. Because they don't have the big old cancerous growth at their ass end, probably. My god, look at the fucking Rafale. Okay, that's interesting. That's actually quite interesting. So it's a hyper-maneuverable missile. I don't know what the Tor system's range is, so I can't say whether this is going to be a useful thing or not. But I guess if they're doing ground level strafing runs, it might be a good thing for the SAM to have. But also, I can't see a situation in which this is a particularly useful feature for a SAM to have. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just a trailer thing. Wouldn't be the first time. Very pretty looking planes. Russian planes are nice looking. I can tell you that much. Typhoon fires off. Okay, this might actually be a chance of seeing what we're looking at. So it's carrying at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably, yes, it has tipped pylons. So at least 8 missiles. And these do seem to be AIM 120s, thank the fucking lord. So definitely going to be a competitive plane. I don't know what these are clearly countermeasure dispensers right here. So that's there. I don't know how many it can carry. Maybe 8 is all it can carry. I don't know enough about the Typhoon to be able to say one. Look at it. Look at it. It's so fucking pretty. Look at it. I'm not gonna stop. Look at it. Wait a fucking second. Are those? That doesn't look like a Mika. Is that a Mika? I really hope that's a Mika because if that's a Matra, that would be funny. What the fuck are those? Some kind of guided bomb by all accounts. And that's the trailer. All right. So, what do I have to say about the trailer? It's good. It's okay. It's not horrible. It's definitely a trailer of all time. I can tell you that much. Again, I don't think this is actually going to be all that meaningful on an update because yeah, sure, your favorite plane's getting added. By which I mean that Rafale Dakimakura is about to be a lot crustier by the end of the year. But okay, real talk. I don't think this is going to majorly change the game. I don't think this is going to be too impactful for top tier because these are fundamentally not different vehicles. Top tier changed massively this year with the introduction of Fox 3s, but I don't think the Rafale is going to change it much more, personally at least. Also, fuck me, I'm starting to ramble. Uh, See ya, die in a fire, or don't. Maybe your choice. The fire can't hurt you if you say no. Trust me, bro. Kill yourself.